All right, and it is time for yet another box. This is going to be box 14. Let's get to it. Looks like a lot of titles starting with M. So let's start here with The Massive, number 1. The Massive. Here is The Mantle, cover B, number 1. Here is Midnighter, number 1. Okay. Here is Maestro, number 1. Maestro. And here is number 2. Here is Marvel's X, number 1. Magneto, not a hero, number 4. Number 3. Here is Moon Knight, number 3, from the Marvel Now era. Marvelous. Here is Marvel Comics, number 1. I think this is a 70th anniversary issue, I believe. Reprint. Here is Marvel Tales, Miss Marvel, number 1. It's just a collection of stories, I believe. It's a big square bound book. Here's Magic Order 2, number 1. The Marvels, number 5. Here's The Marvels, number 1. And here is Moon Knight, number 4, I think. It's the Stormbreakers cover. It's the current version of Moon Knight, the current series. And here is regular cover number 4. And here's Magic Order 2, number 2. Moon Knight, number 10. And I got another one. Okay. And here is Mary Jane and Black Cat Beyond, number 1. And you see, this is the first print So this tag says 001 for issue 1, and then cover 1, and then first print. So this next one should say 00112 because I have the second print. And that's this one. Second printing. And you can see it says 001 for issue 1, cover 1, second print. If you ever want to know how to read those codes. The first 3 digits are the issue number. The 4th digit is the cover. And then the last digit is the print. Here is The Marvels, number 9. Here is Moon Knight, Devil's Reign, number 1. And here is Moon Knight, number 7, the second printing. And here is Moon Knight, number 9. And here's another one. Here is a book that has cooled down, but this will always be a key and it will always be a good book. But this book was overinflated over TV show hype. And I knew it would come down, but that doesn't change the fact that this is still a key book and it will always be a valuable key. That is Marvel Now .1. The first appearance of Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel. So yeah, these TV shows, this Marvel stuff during the pandemic really kind of made comics look ridiculous. The way that they just blew up and they have no choice but to come down. But you know what really blew up? What really blew up were the CGC graded copies. That's what really blew up. The raw books have almost stayed the same. They've dipped a little bit, but not nearly like the graded copies. Raw books have really kind of held their value where they've always been. It's those graded copies that went the huge up spikes and then back down. And here's another one of those .1 books. This one is I don't know what's significant about this one. I forget. I think maybe it's the first appearance of one of the Novas or something like that. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to take a look. I kind of forget. Yeah. But I don't deal in. I have absolutely zero. I have not one graded book, not one, and I probably never will, because it's just not my thing. I'm not in that market. So I did see how those books just spiked and then came right back down. But the raw books have kind of held their spot. Here's Moon Knight number 1 from the Marvel Now era. This is a key. That's 3 keys in a row. And this one is another one of those .1 books, but this one, as of now, has nothing going on. I should read this. I'd like to read this and see if there's anything anything to look at as a future interest. But yeah, this one has really no value other than cover. So it might be worth $10. I don't know. Here is Spider-Man Wolverine Team Up #1. Marvel Team Up. Yeah. Here is Marvel Team Up #15. And this one, I believe, is a key issue. This is Marvel Team Up #2. And I don't have any idea what's key about it. I just know that Cover Price has it as key. So it's probably some minor key. I don't know. Here is Moon Knight #7. Regular cover, A. And here is Moon Knight #8. I love this cover. Hunter's Moon. That's a nice cover. I have a couple of these. Here's the second. That's a cool cover. Okay. Here's Maestro World War M #1. And this is the third cover. So cover C. Here is Marvel Legacy #1. And this is a variant edition. This is strange. Because the barcode says it's issue #1. But then it says 1/9. So it's cover 1, 9th print. 9th print of cover 1, the 9th version of #1. I don't know. Of the A cover. Yeah. It's like a shiny kind of, I think they call it lenticular maybe. Yeah. Okay. This is a Marvel miniseries, 6-issue miniseries called The End. Marvel The End. From the mid-2000s. Okay, that's #6. Here is #5. Here's #4. Here is #2. 3. #3. Here's #2. And here is #1. Okay. Coffee break. Here is DC versus Marvel #1. And this came out back in 2000. No, this came out in 1996. Yeah. Big old crossover event. Look at this cover. How cool is that? Yep. I used to have 1, 2, 3, and 4, I think. I bought these off the shelf. I bought these off the comic book store shelf. Here's #2, but it flips this time. This time, the first one was DC versus Marvel. This one is Marvel versus DC #2. Pretty cool. Okay. Here is Moon Knight number 2. Moon Knight number 2. Okay. Here we have the Infernal Man-Thing. Man-Thing number 1. This is a 3-issue limited series. And I have that whole thing. This is number 2. Number 2. And number 3. Okay. Here is Moon Knight number 194. And I believe this is also a key book, according to cover price. Here is X-Men 177. Here is New X-Men 151. And I have 2 of those. 1 and 2. Okay. Here is New X-Men 149. And here is number 148. And 147. $139. $137. Here is number 135. Here is 133. That's a key. X-Force 24. Here's X-Force number 1. X-Men X of Swords number 1 of 22. This came out in 2020, right after they started shipping comics again during that whole comic shutdown of 2020. And this X of Swords was boring. Just nothing. Just a big nothing burger, you know. Here is Years of Future Past number 1. Here's X Factor 236. Uncanny X-Force number 1. Marvel Now era. Okay, here is X from Dark Horse Comics. Number 0. is X-Statics, number 13. And I remember buying this book off the comic book rack. I remember when I saw it, I was like, come on, that is a complete ripoff of Princess Diana. That's the only reason why I bought that. Years ago. Here is X-23 number 1. I think this is the first X-23 series. Yeah. Kind of a cool book. Here's X-Force number 2. X-Men number 4, current series. Here is X-Men number 2. This is no year, 2020. 2020 series maybe. Jonathan Hickman, so it's just more Krakoa crap. Here's number 1. Here's New X-Men number 131. And here is New X-Men number 134. This one is a key book. Here is Uncanny X-Men number 4. No, number 12. Here is Amazing X-Men number 1. And I got a couple of those. 1, 2. Okay. Here's another X-Men number 1. And I'm not sure if this is a key or not, if there's anything key about this. It's possible. Here is X-Men Gold Annual number 2. Okay. Here is X-Men number 1. This is the current series, and I believe this is the Stormbreakers variant, I think. Maybe not. This might be regular cover A. There's no barcode to look at. Okay. Here's another one. Here is number 3. Number 9. Oh, there they are, sitting at the table talking. Sitting at the table. Who's going to do what, when, where, and how. Here's X-Men 176. X-Men number 179. Coffee break. Here's another Moon Knight number 4. Here is another Marvel .1. This one is key, but it's more of a minor key. It's not as valuable yet as of the recording. Yeah. I'm not even sure. I don't even remember what is the key-ish. What is key about that, to be honest. Don't remember. Here is Morbius #1. Marvel Now. Moon Knight #4. Marvel Now era. Here is Man-Thing #3. And here is Man-Thing #2. Marvel Knights Man-Thing. And here's #1. Man-Thing. Thing Man. Here is Moon Knight #1, the current series, and this is the second print. Second printing. And I do have the first print. And I have 2 copies of Moon Knight #3, first appearance, Hunter's Moon. 2 copies of that. And there's the second. And here would be the Marvels #7. Okay. Here is Moon Knight #5, cover A. Moon Knight. And I have 3 of those. There's the second. And the third. And I also have the third cover, cover C of that book, #5. I have 2 of those. 1 and 2. Okay. I have Moon Knight #6. And I have 2 copies of that. 1 and 2. Okay. Here we have The Marvels #6. Here is Miles Morales Spider-Man #37. And I have a couple of those. Okay. My Date with Monsters #1 from Aftershock Comics. Here is The Mercenary C #1 from Image Comics. The Mercenary C. Okay. And here is Midnight Mystery #1 from Alterna Comics. That is cool. I do like these. That's $1.50. 2019. I do like these comics like this. They're printed on the old newsprint. I wouldn't. I know I said before I thought it'd be a bad idea if comics did that, but I wouldn't mind seeing it if they went back to doing comics like this. Wouldn't hurt me, that's for sure. Wouldn't hurt my feelings. Well, that does not look like a proper silver board. But I don't have any right now, or do I? Let me check that out. Nope, I know I don't. I'm out of boards. Yeah, that's unfortunate because that's not a good board. It's the same as that. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one is another Alterna Comics. And it's another shabby, it doesn't even look like a silver size board. But it's called Mother Russia. Alterna Comics. Here is Moonshine number 3, Image Comics. Minimum Wage from Image number 1. Marvel Universe versus the Avengers number 1. Limited series. And Image Comics Monkey Meat number 1. Came out last year. Actually came out at the beginning of this year. Okay. Here is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 31. Here is Miles Morales number 32 in his hoodie. Defying stereotypes in his hoodie. Here's Miles Morales 36. That is like the Carnage Forever cover. Here's Miles Morales 36 regular cover. Here is the Mango Lorian from Keen Spot Publishing, number 1. Mango Lorian. And here is The Marvels, number 8. Here we have The Fuse, issue number 1 from Image Comics. I have 2 of these. Yep. Came out probably 2014 or something like that. Who knows? Here is Moon Knight number 17. And Moon Knight 16. And I have 3 of those 16s. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And this is a key book. I don't know why. There's something key about it. New character, I guess. It's called Marvel Voices Comunidades #1. Community? I don't know. Voices Comunidad. No hablo español. Here is Meta #1 from Scout Comics. Came out last year or early this year. Yeah, actually came out in this summer. I don't know if this thing will focus. But yeah, Meta. Here is Moon Knight 14. Okay. Here is Moon Knight, Black, White, and Blood. This is the second print. This is key. Once again, I'll say it. I don't know why it's a key, but it is, according to cover price. I think I do. I have cover A, I mean the first print as well of that book. And I have 2 copies of the first print. Moon Knight. Okay. I also have the Facsimile edition of Moon Knight #1, which is very cool. I used to have the real deal at one point. Here is Moon Knight #13, and I have 2 copies of this book. There's one, and here's one. Moon Knight. And we have a Moon Knight #11. That's the last book. That is it. And we'll put this in there, the end piece. Give it a flip down. And that's it for box number 14.